When you got nothing better to do, it's time to get hanging with the hers.
Good morning, everyone. I have got the worst spasms in my back, going all the way down to my hips, going all the way down my legs, into my knees, into my ankles. I am not doing good right now. But hey, you know what? I made it down here to the park. It felt long and tedious, but you know what? Sometimes we gotta push through these things to get out into this beautiful air. I won't say fresh air. I don't know how fresh it is because we've got the freeway over there, and so I think the pollution. It's not too close, but it's not too far either. I think you can hear it though when I'm recording down here. You can hear the cars going and trucks going up and down the freeway. But it is Saturday, Cat-a-day for those who love cats, and I am one. And I don't have any plans today. And I don't really want to have any plans today because of how sore I feel right now. I just kind of want to hang out at home, be a homebody as usual. Not that we could go anywhere, our car's still not fixed yet. We need to get transmission fluid for it, and maybe we might need to get some gears. I don't know. Let's hope and pray that we don't, that we just need transmission fluid. Fingers crossed. So there has been some stuff in the news this week that has really, really hurt me to my core, I guess is the best way to say it. I am just so shaken up and upset by the whole thing. And it just goes to prove that old stereotypes are still being thrown around today and still being believed today. And people really, really need to open their eyes to what is going on and to make a difference, and make a change. So this week, there was splashed all over the headlines a picture of a beautiful blonde-haired, white-faced girl, blue eyes. They called her the Blonde Angel, Maria. And she was found in a Roma settlement in Greece, or Gypsy settlement. I'm not even going to address that right now as far as that word goes. And why does it hurt me so much? Why does it strike such a deep sadness and sorrow in me? Because what most of you don't realize is that I am Roma. My dad, and I only found this out last year by some crazy ass shit happening, that I found out the truth about my heritage on my dad's side is that we were Roma. And his side of the family, they were in Russia, primarily Siberia and Tatarstan, and also in China. So, but it was hidden from me my entire life. And the reason why it was hidden from me, and why my dad knew, but he kind of hid it as well, was because of the stigma and the stereotype. And my family definitely doesn't fall into the stigma and stereotype of what people believe when they think of Romani and, thieving band and marauding band of gypsies. I don't know about marauding, but thieving and such. So it was a shock, because my entire heritage, my entire life of everything that I thought that I was, became something that I wasn't. But since I have discovered that I am, I've learned about my culture, and as best as I've been able to, and I've become very, 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 very proud Romani. So this week, when these authorities in Greece found this blonde-haired, blue-eyed girl and took her from her parents and arrested them on charges of kidnapping, which they didn't have any proof to do so, by the way. There was no proof that they kidnapped this child or that they were in child trafficking. They just charged them with this. How does that work? How do you charge somebody with something without a full-on investigation and getting all your facts straight first? So now it's all across the world, this news. And they had parents of children who had been abducted all across the world having hope. And now the truth has come out that she is Roma, she is Romani Gypsy, and her parents, her mother gave birth to her and couldn't afford to keep her and gave her to these people. Now, in the culture, this is something that has been done for a long time ago. Romani will do adoptions within the community to other Romani so that you will have your child growing up to become Romani and to know the culture. So it's not lost. We don't want to lose that. Then in Ireland, 2 separate cases. Blonde-haired, fair-skinned children were taken away from their Romani parents because they did not believe, even a birth certificate presented, they did not believe that these children could possibly be Romani. Why? Do we have a stereotype of what we're supposed to look like, of how we're supposed to be? Are we? No, we don't. You have Romani from across the scale. There's even people who are black who are Romani. Okay? So this really has tugged me deep. Not only from this standpoint and the fact that there's now a witch hunt that was conducted in Europe. And of course, you know, in my opinion, I'm laughing because it was kind of like in your face once it's come out the truth, although they're still holding the parents of this girl, the adopted parents, in jail, still charged with kidnapping and trafficking children. Now they're investigating the girl's biological parents to see if they had sold her and were part of a child selling ring. Honestly, that's disgusting. You got caught in some bullshit crap, witch hunt, and now you're going to still try to prove something? How about this? Why don't you, since she's Romani Gypsy, and this is 2 families within the Romani Gypsy community, okay? Why don't you leave them to sort it out themselves? There was no crime, okay? There was no crime committed. This is nothing but a witch hunt. And it has really upset me deeply. This little girl who has been torn away from the only parents, the only family, the only community she has ever known, and placed into some system with strangers, complete strangers. If you have children and you're watching this, can you imagine, first of all, being arrested and taken into custody, but to have your child, your beautiful child who you have loved, and especially if you're an adoptive parent, or parents of children who are born through surrogacy. Look at your beautiful child. Maybe that child looks like you, maybe that child doesn't look like you. But to have that child ripped from you and placed into a system because she doesn't fit into the stereotype of what you should be and what you should look like. And being told that any paperwork that you have is false, especially if you've given birth to a child who doesn't look like you or your husband. You look at Prince Harry, and there was actually a funny article I read the other day where they were equating the royal family with this. Prince Harry really didn't look like any of the royals. He didn't look like Charles, and he didn't look like Diana. Really. I mean, maybe a little bit like Diana, but I'm talking about when he was really little. And he had this shocking red hair. And everyone was talking. Everyone was talking. We don't know what the truth is there. But the fact is that no one came in and took that child away from his parents to do DNA testing. Like in every family, you can have 2 dark-haired parents and they have a blonde, fair-haired child, a red-haired child. You can have blonde-haired parents and they have a dark-haired child, a red-haired child. Maybe redheads go a little bit more acceptable. But if this had been any other community, any other race of people, this would not have happened. This is nothing but old stereotypes, old prejudice, and racist beliefs and racist actions towards Romani all throughout Europe. That's all that this was and that this is, because they're still trying to prosecute the biological parents and prosecute the adoptive parents, blah, 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 blah. Give the girl back to the only parents she has ever known and leave my people alone.
Amen, sister. Go tell it on the mountain.
That's all I gotta say. I'm sorry, this didn't mean to turn into a rant today. It's just something that's really, really been upsetting me. This whole week this has been upsetting me and I haven't voiced it. I've been keeping it quiet. I voiced it a little bit with my husband, but it's something that's really, really struck a chord deep inside of me.
I love you, babe. Everyone else.
Because when I was born at the hospital, they told my mother, "I'm so sorry, but we can't find your baby." And of course my mother, a mother of a newborn, thinking someone has kidnapped her child. And the reason why they said that is because I didn't look like my mother. I was born with black hair and a lot of it, and I didn't look like a white baby. It wasn't until they saw my father that they said, "Oh, okay. No, it's okay. We made a mistake. Here's your baby." Can you imagine that? Can you imagine that? Just because I didn't look stereotypical. And that was 40 years ago. And today, it's still going on. This has got to stop. We as people, a human family, a human race, have to come together and have to band together to stop these injustices, especially in Central Europe, in places like Hungary and Czechoslovakia and Poland, where they still conduct forced sterilization on Romani women to kill out the race. Why? And in other parts, I think it's also maybe in Hungary, where they're saying that all Romani should be put into concentration camps. Are we in the 1930s and 40s? Or are we in the 21st century? Think about it for a minute. Think. And when you want to wear a Halloween costume this year, please, ladies, try not to romanticize what it's like to be a gypsy. You see what's going on in Greece? You see what happened in Ireland? That's the fact. That's the truth. Is there anything romantic about it? It's a very, very hard life to live. And most people, well, not most, but a large number of people will hide the fact that they're gypsy from their children and try to raise them as normal as possible so that their children have a chance in life, so that their children don't get locked up and lost in the stereotypes and miss out. That's what happened to me. I didn't find out until last year, after my dad passed away. So I don't have any family on his side who I can talk to about this. I'm lost. I find certain things and then I hit a brick wall. But I'm blessed to have found friends and distant cousins through marriage online. And it's, to me, that's a blessing because they're helping me, they're teaching me. There's certain things that I've grown up knowing. There's certain things that were instilled in our family. And I just thought that we were OCD. But it turned out that this is the way it is. This is how life is. So understand that if you want to be dressed as Esmeralda or anything like that, that is fantasy. It's not real. And that we are a culture and a race of people. And that choosing to dress like us, to take the mickey out of us, we're not a costume. A friend of mine posted that last year. She posted a picture of herself holding a picture of a gypsy costume. And she said, we are not a costume. This is not right. Because it hurts us. If you're not Romani, why are you wearing our clothes? Why are you wearing our outfits, what we wear? Our traditional clothes. I don't want to say outfits or costumes. That's so crude. So I had a lot on my mind. I didn't go to sleep till very late, after 4 in the morning. Because I had so much on my mind. So much sorrow for my people, you know? Because my people are still persecuted today. And this last week has been absolutely evident about it. Anyway, that's my rant for the day. I am proud Romani. Opre Roma. Till tomorrow, I love you guys. See you then. Bye.
Now don't you forget to like this video, subscribe to our channel, and share it all with your friends. Till next time, hanging with the herds.